today, so
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask, because I imagine you know him better than I. I'm honestly not familiar with Akon Sices at all.
right.
I know he played a bit of Warcraft 3 last year.
Yeah.
But that's all I know.
You know, he's a very good player. He's been around for a few years, and yeah, very capable.
Nice, right. I can't wait to see more of him. But speaking of, I can't wait to see more of this player here in the top right-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, representing the CranKy Ducklings, the Pink Protoss. It is StarDuck.
Here we have down in the bottom left, in the purple, playing Terran, representing Legacy Esports, RunaMok.
Boy, I can feel the tension already. You know, the two casters on the opposing teams right now. Oh boy. I've been here before when casting with Sano.
Oh, right. So StarDuck versus Chase or something like that? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So it looks like RunaMok has gone gas after Rax here, which is probably indicative that he's not looking to do any super early timings. He's just going to look to macro and... Okay. A bit of a high five there between the workers. Maybe a fist bump.
Just a bit of a bonk between friends to start things off. Boy. But yeah, so far things are kind of chill. I say that as the workers are being a little bit aggressive with each other.
That's a great start for RunaMok.
Oh god. StarDuck losing his probe early on. Loses some scouting information as well if he wanted to keep it alive. But yeah, wow.
Did StarDuck confirm it's only one gas yet? He hasn't.
He didn't get into the main.
He hasn't confirmed the gases, and he doesn't know that CC started. Like, theoretically, it could be a fake. It's unlikely. But StarDuck is very much in the dark here. And this Reaper is going to keep this Adept home. So for a new player, or a newish player, it's very difficult when you're in a qualifying match, a best of 5, and something just doesn't go right. So I think this is going to be a big test for StarDuck to see how he can keep calm, keep cool, and execute his game plan. So going to be watching the supply very closely here to see if he hits all his pylons. And RunaMok's going to get in the main. Did he see that?
He did see all the production buildings in the main. Was
he saw the Stargate?
Okay. Yeah.
That's a great scout. So, gonna get going into that Widow Mine, getting that starport. Yeah, RunaMok looks like he's very comfortable here. StarDuck is coming across the map with an Adept, so yeah, very eager to get that scout, as you can imagine. And this is going to confirm what he probably believed, but just in case he had some doubts. We'll make him feel pretty comfortable, I'd imagine. And that shade finishes, so RunaMok's going to get free reign over these probes.
Already a handful of probes going down. Unfortunately, the Adept was just not in position. It looks like finally...
he got 3. Is he going to get out? He does die, but as RunaMok, you're so happy with that. And as StarDuck, things are starting to not go to plan. And you know, when things aren't going to plan, the best thing you can do in StarCraft is just do something that you're comfortable with, right? And if StarDuck's comfortable with going Phoenix here and just having the map and macroing up, then absolutely, I 100% support him in doing that. Like I was saying earlier, I'm interested in, this Phoenix going to camp and try to pick up whatever comes out of that. And it is going to be the Viking, which does win that battle. But he has confirmed that it's not a medevac. So he knows he doesn't have to keep his Phoenix at home, perhaps. So, yeah, that's
definitely
good.
I also like that you brought up about, you know, a newer player and how they handle like kind of stressful situations. I wasn't necessarily going to bring it up, but I don't know if you saw in last week's qualifier, in qualifier number 1, StarDuck actually went up against Oreo in the first round. And
Wow,
he was very, very upset about that. He was like, oh god, that's like Yeah, it's not really, and it did kind of affect his play throughout the qualifier.
Yeah, it does happen. Yeah, mental's a big part, especially in BO5. But I think StarDuck's game plan is going to help him a lot in this regard. Just because he has that vision on the map with these Phoenix, he has tempo now. He's going into Colossus or Disruptors probably. So I really like what StarDuck is doing off the back of that, and it looks like he's kept his cool. So that's really good signs for StarDuck, and yeah, really good signs for a neo player to not lose the bundle and things don't go your way early. I think that's awesome.
Definitely. I feel like also on the flip side of things, right? Like RunaMok, I'm sure he's feeling pretty good so far. How the game has gone out, despite his thoughts on TvP. So far so good. Well, the Phoenixes do dive in, but gets a Phoenix.
That's very nice on the side of RunaMok. One less Phoenix to have to worry about. He is obviously going to be having to keep that Raven very, very safe, because what it looks like RunaMok is gearing up for here is going to be a push where he's going to look to use that Raven to disable the Colossus and push in and win. So that Raven, I don't think StarDuck knows that there's a Raven. He might be able to guess, but if he gets on top of that and kills that, I think that could just be the end of RunaMok's push, because if we look at how this game is set up economically, RunaMok's only on 2 bases and he's not building SCVs. Meanwhile, StarDuck has 3 bases and he's fully teched up, so we're going to see a big fight coming very soon that's probably going to decide this game.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it, right? So we say that RunaMok actually starts a 3rd TC, which is interesting. But we were talking about how RunaMok, like, he's the kind of player who wants to try and end things. Oh god, he has to make sure he babysits that Raven. Nice
work. Very, very good by RunaMok to keep that safe. Yeah, StarDuck's going to be pulling at it, prodding at it, trying to pick it off, but at this point, I think RunaMok's pretty safe with it, and as I say that, oh no, Josh, please.
Not like this. He was almost there. He was halfway across the map, but the Raven does go down.
He because he's got that 3rd CC on the way, he does have a backup plan here. He is going to have to macro out now. He can't just push through the front because he can't disable the Colossus. So he's going to look to do this drop. And by the way, StarDuck has moved his Phoenix well into position to intercept this, perhaps. RunaMok may be going around them, but still, StarDuck has kind of realized that, okay, I can't be killed at the front now. You're probably going to drop me. So I think that's great from StarDuck's perspective. And also very smart by RunaMok to realize, okay, I can't push him down. Let's just try to get some damage. And this Widow Mine drop is coming in.
Yeah, it is. 4 Widow Mines are being dropped here. 1 gets lifted. The other 3 actually get borrowed.
He a little bit maybe mis-targeting. Well handled by StarDuck, I got to say. He pulled him away very well. And he's diving on top of the Colossus. He picks up 1.
Oh my god, that was actually best case scenario. Catching 1 Colossus off guard like that, picks it off. Oh no, I don't know if he wants to fight here though.
Definitely not up the ramp. But yeah, look, RunaMok, he didn't find a ton of damage there, but he's found enough that he can macro out, I think, fairly safely. The big worry here is going to be the upgrades, because well, no, he's actually heading upgrades. He's got StarDuck only just now getting his 1st Forge. So this is still pretty good for RunaMok. If he can hit a sharp timing, maybe 2-2, maybe 1-1-2.
Yeah. Like, unfortunately, StarDuck was neglecting his upgrades for a long time there, so things are still like very, very even between these 2 players. Even though, of course, RunaMok's initial plans were thwarted, like as you were saying, enough damage was done. You know, he's expanding, he's taking a 3rd base, but we have to be careful here because the armies are missing each other.
Yeah, I think if RunaMok, I think the first player to attack here has a big advantage. It looks like it might be RunaMok, but this could get to a base trade scenario, and honestly, this massively favors Terran because they can lift their buildings, because and StarDuck knows this. He's going to come home, and if RunaMok senses that StarDuck is out on the map, he can just go in. Like he does. He's seen that scan, confirms what he thought, and he can just go for the bases here. Ult style to kill those Nexuses, but he's going to get surrounded here.
That he will,
he needs to lift.
Oh god, he's gonna lose a lot there, but at the same time, basically, every single worker at the third goes down.
So, great situation for RunaMok, and I was not sure if he would realize that and pick it up and just dive into the base, but he has, and it's been amazing for him. He's got a lot of damage off. But on the other hand, StarDuck is pushing across now, and that's a big army.
Yeah, I love this from RunaMok. Immediately he lifts up his third base. He knows the situation he's in. I kind of almost want him to have kept it there just to buy a little bit of time, because I feel like StarDuck, he's kind of all in from here. Like, losing a third base like that, like, he has to deal some damage.
He does. RunaMok has ran his SCVs to the third base. Probably should have ran them to the natural. He is likely going to lose this, but it's going to be tough for StarDuck to break that with the Liberator, with the Bunker, with the Viking, and RunaMok's dealing massive damage on the other side of the map. And if StarDuck can't clean up this army, I think RunaMok is in a great position. But the
Disruptor!
That Disruptor going down is huge. There's just so much going on right now for StarDuck, and this is great for RunaMok. He's going to clear up everything here. And on the other side, he's got an army that's just doing massive damage. So
yeah,
I think this might just be the end for StarDuck.
I was a little bit confused, honestly, but these zealots that were with the army actually turned around and went back home. Like, StarDuck, he didn't have everything with him. Also, he had 2 disruptors, I believe, and I think both of them got taken out before any shot went off. Like,
And if we take stock after that fight, StarDuck still only has the +1. RunaMok's got 1, 2 about to complete, and then start on more upgrades. So when you're on gateway units and you're down in upgrades, it plays a big part. So that said, StarDuck does still have a lot of zealots. He's getting some Archons, some big storms can absolutely change the game, but I'd say RunaMok definitely very happy with his position right now.
Definitely. I'm also surprised that that third base survived for RunaMok, who still has that CC. Meanwhile, the zealots, they do catch the army. Just not enough, mate. Oh god.
Yeah, very, very tough for StarDuck here. Those Templar are going to need to do big things for this to turn around. And he's morphed. Oh, he doesn't have Storm.
He doesn't have Storm.
So he's just morphed him into Archons. And Archons in this situation, when the Terran can kite, not so good. But yeah, it looks like RunaMok's going to try to get some damage off on the other side of the map. He has neglected his upgrades, so really does kind of need to kill StarDuck here, but he can play on it. Getting a nice start to the fight here, picking off some zealots for free.
Stalker as well. StarDuck, I feel like he's feeling forced to fight here, but as you were saying, like, when an army can kite like this, like, Archons, they just can't catch up.
Yeah, they've done almost nothing so far in the fight. You really want to be attacking in with Archons in this situation, I feel, but when you're down an army, how do you attack? So, yeah, this is really tough for StarDuck, and
What I will say for StarDuck is that, like, disruptors, they are the great equalizer. The shock goes off, but
just a Marine. Yeah, RunaMok should probably just chase this army right back now, I think. Archons, Disruptor going down. This is the end.
We have another disruptor. The shot goes off. Splits are decent though.
Yeah, nice focus by RunaMok there. Yeah.
Wow. And GG gets called.
Well played. I really like that from both players. I think StarDuck got a little bit unlucky there with the positioning of the armies, and obviously, like, you can put him at fault there because he didn't have observers and that sort of thing. Looking at the army position for RunaMok, but yeah, definitely when 2 armies go out on the map and go past each other in that situation, gonna be pretty good for Terran. So
yeah, it's a really difficult position to be in and a hard call to make, right? Do I turn around? Do I commit to a base trade and then try and recall later? The problem was that RunaMok had 2 pretty large armies out there, and he was hitting 2 bases at once. So regardless, like, he was gonna win that base trade when it came to destroying buildings. So, rough position.
Absolutely.
As we are getting into game 2. boy, and we are going to be on Oxide. Oxide, a little bit more of a Terran favorite map, I guess. I don't know if I want to say favorite, but like, you know, there's less downsides for Terrans here compared to some of the others.
Yeah, some nice rocks that you can look to siege up with tanks, perhaps liberators, even some nice strokes. So, yeah, I would say this is a nice map for Terran, but maybe StarDuck thinks that as well, and StarDuck is going to go for a bit of a cheesy play. We'll have a look.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I can't wait. As we are leading into game number 2, we'll be on Oxide LE, and spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have our Australian Protoss. He is pink, representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is StarDuck.
Down in the bottom left, in the purple, taking game 1, it is the Terran player for Legacy Esports, RunaMok.
Oh boy. And not gonna lie, I'm surprised that neither player is sending out workers to proxy on this map. Okay.
Yeah, I would like to see StarDuck do some sort of nice. GG Easy, of course, is the gamer bar in Melbourne. For those that don't know, wonderful place. If you have the chance to come to Melbourne, check it out. RunaMok giving it a shout out here. Yeah.
Are you based in Melbourne? Are you?
I am based in Melbourne now. Yeah. From Brisbane, but from Queensland, but yeah, based in Melbourne.
Okay. Oh boy. Is RunaMok as well? I'm actually not familiar.
Yep.
Wow.
RunaMok's.
Oh right, of course. Does he still live with Probe?
Yep, he lives with Probe and Chappy.
And Chappy as well. I actually didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my. They got a gamer house going there.
Full on gamer house. Yep.
Hey, where's the content? Where are the vlogs? What's going on?
Okay, it looks like StarDuck is gonna get away with that Probe's life this time, so that's definitely a lot better start, and he'll take comfort in that. You know, it might seem like a minor thing, but when you start a game really badly, to then get the better start in the next game does make you feel better. And what is this Probe doing? He's just looking for proxies, perhaps, or is he looking to be cheeky? He's looking to be cheeky.
Oh, I love it. Okay, what are we gonna see here? Unfortunately, it's not like there's a Twilight Council. Sorry, yeah, Twilight Council at home or anything like that. So I imagine Stargate.
I would think Stargate, based on how the gas is lining up. Yeah. Robo.
Oh my.
What is it? Is this gonna be some Immortals? Maybe. I haven't seen.
Question mark against Terran.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're into something very interesting here, and I know this is the type of play that can tilt RunaMok. So I from StarDuck's perspective, this is great. He has. Looks like RunaMok's going to switch the factory in the. So. There's two ways you can look at this, right? You can look at this as the Hellions aren't going to defend particularly well against the robo units, right?
Yeah.
But by the same merit, RunaMok's probably going to be doing a Hellion drop with this. So it's going to be very difficult for StarDuck to defend that as well. So both these players are going to be throwing things at their opponent. And yeah, it's really going to come down to who does the most damage. And these Marines... Okay, so the Warpin has been on the other side of the map. StarDuck has nothing to defend these Marines, by the way. Just 6 Marines just YOLO'd across the map with some Hellions, and they're like, what's up?
Yeah, exactly. I forced to pull the boys. Oh god.
This was actually so clutch by RunaMok, I gotta say. This is a massacre, and he is in the main base of RunaMok right now. So, like I said, it's gonna come down to who can do the most damage. And right now, RunaMok has nothing to defend either. So it's blow for blow right here.
Exactly. I was going to say, this is going to be a little bit of a wonky game. We finally do get the quote-unquote base trade that we missed out on in game number 1. All the workers are going down. There's a Marauder on the way, question mark.
RunaMok has nothing. He has nothing. I think StarDuck's gonna take this.
He defended. Yeah, he cleaned up everything across the map.
Yep. And the Marauder has gone down. I think RunaMok's only hope there was to get that Marauder in a bunker. But now he's left with a single Viking against endless warp-ins from this prison, and that's just gonna be it.
Yeah, exactly, mate. You don't understand the power of the proxy robo question mark. God.
That was the exact thing that RunaMok struggles with, is just random stuff that he hasn't seen before, and it's just like, oh, there's units in our base now. So yeah, awesome play by StarDuck. I think he's back to winner there by doing something a little bit out of the ordinary. And yeah, he's obviously controlled that very well. Like, he had to defend stuff in his main. Like, it's easy for a player to just, oh, there's something in my main base, and forget about that Stalker drop, but he sent it in. He knew that he had to, I've taken damage, I got to do damage. So yeah, great play by StarDuck there.
Beautiful. This is something that I haven't said yet, but now the cat's out of the bag. Again, StarDuck is a player that we the CranKy Ducklings have been able to cast for a long time, and originally he did nothing but cheese. He would cannon rush almost every single game. That's the kind of player he was. It was at the beginning of the year, really, and the end of last year, where he started to macro up and really expand as a player, and that's where he finally hit GM. But you know, his roots originated in that cheese, in that cheddar.
Yep, it's easy to tell that he's good at it because, yeah, he definitely had a good handle on that game. And I gotta say, while RunaMok had a really great handle on game 1, he didn't have a great handle on game 2. If you look at that, I think, given RunaMok's done so much damage, I think fighting with the SCVs maybe isn't the right call. Like, he kind of has to defend his production, so it's a tough spot for him. But yeah, he just had nothing at home. Whether he missed the production round there, I'm not sure. But yeah, this is getting into game 3 now.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he was focusing as well too much on that attack across the map. But hopefully he's able to shake things off, as we are here in game number 3. We are tied up 1-1, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the Australian Protoss. He is pink, representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is StarDuck.
And down here in the bottom right, spawning in the purple for Legacy Esports, it is RunaMok. I would like to see RunaMok adapt a little bit here, and just this is something Igers used to do it quite a bit. When he had a couple of Marines in the early game like that, he'd just split one off, or split 2 off sometimes in each direction, and just go around the map and have a look. See if you can find a proxy, because if you lose 2 out of 6 Marines, and look, it did look like RunaMok did move out a little bit to the where he would take a 3rd base on that map, and he did have a look with the Marines. But then he was going for a push, so he can't exactly just like split 2 Marines off and go look for proxies. But if he is doing another game where he's not doing a style like that, I'd love to see him just look for proxies. And looks like StarDuck is going to proxy again, so that might be a beneficial play.
Speaking of proxies, I don't know, maybe RunaMok needs a coach in there to let him know. Oh boy. Because I was about to say, like, I don't know what the vetoes were looking like. I'm a little bit surprised that Romanticide made it through. Romanticide is a really large map for things like proxies, not just proxies, but also if StarDuck wanted to go into a late game scenario, like Romanticide is the map to do it on as well.
On the flip side, it is pretty great for tank pushes, I say. So maybe RunaMok's got something like that planned. Yeah, he is going to look for proxies. But unfortunately for him, just not the right locations.
Yeah, he's looking all over the northern half of the map, when it's the south that he should be worried about.
Yeah, I'd love to see just one of these Marines that are here, just go have a look. And it looks like he's going to scout with this SCV. Yes, Josh, yes! That's exactly what I called for. He's done it.
He's doing it. He's scouting with his SCV. He will find this proxy. It's already done, so it's not like early. It's a little bit late, but you know he sees it.
He sees it, and he's got a bunker up. He's getting a second bunker up. Judging up by the location of that, he does think it's a depth coming, and based on the production tab, he is correct. So that's a good start. He looks like he has a handle on what build is going to be coming his way. And adding a tech lab onto that factory is an interesting choice. I think we're going to see a tank push follow-up. And even if it's not a tank push, just a tank to defend this situation is very helpful. So very nice start for RunaMok.
Definitely. I think something that's interesting is that RunaMok, he's well aware that he got scattered as well. He was able to see that SCV, and he's hard committing to this anyway. He's like, yo, I don't even care. Let's go. Oh, boy.
He did also just get into the main and see 3 gates. So he knows it's gateway pressure. Yeah, he needs to pull these SCVs away. Losing 3, that's okay. I still think this is a great situation for RunaMok. Yeah, great focus fire there on those Marines. And then with the tank out, that's going to be the end of this pressure. And I like the starport coming down here. I think RunaMok, obviously he has quite a bit of gas. So being on 2 gas here, I think we're going to see a 2-base follow-up. And yeah, another barracks. So I really like this from RunaMok. That tank's not going to be in range though, and that bunker won't last forever.
Yeah.
So well, maybe it will. Yep, and StarDuck, he lost a lot of adepts there too. Like 3 SCVs got picked off, but I'm not sure RunaMok is too... Obviously he's down considerably in workers here, but given his follow-up's going to be pretty aggressive, I think he's okay to take that loss and just build a big army for the time being.
Yeah, exactly. Like, does he really care about his worker count right now when he's working on that big push? Meanwhile, StarDuck is taking a 3rd base here. Oh god. I'm getting some game 2 versus his previous opponent vibes a little bit here, where he was working on an expansion when a big push was coming. It's a little bit greedy. But he was able to get away with it last time.
He did, and it was by some good micro on StarDuck's end, so maybe he can do that again. He likely will need it, and he's probably going to need to... He has an observer coming out here. From his perspective, I think he really needs to get in and see that a tank push is coming. It looks like that tank push is going to probably hit with stim, so we can add about a minute to the clock now, and that's when RunaMok will be moving out. So StarDuck's going to need to have an army that can slow that down. With these tank pushes, he's going to need to be able to force some sieges up or pick off some units as it comes across the map. And looking at the units tab, there is a Raven. So if he can do what he did in game 1 again and pick off that Raven, that's going to be huge.
Definitely. I'm a little bit worried for StarDuck. Hopefully he doesn't go too far in with his observer, because it could get picked off. But he does.
He's seen it.
Yeah, he sees it.
That's a great scout. Yeah, really nice micro there by StarDuck, sieging up and unsieging it. Yeah, and charge here for StarDuck is great, because you really don't want to be stalker heavy against.
Yeah. I mean, stalkers, they have their uses, right? Like when it comes to sniping, that's that Raven or kiting and forcing those sieges in the center of the map. But in a straight up engagement, you do want those zealots.
For sure. I think some Immortals here wouldn't be out of place either, but it looks like he's going to try to squeeze in some Templar, and that Templar Archives is almost done, like. He's got the gas to make 2 Archons.
Oh boy, and here we go. RunaMok is pushing out into the middle of the map. The Stalkers will scout this. What's important as well is the StarDuck does have a War Prism, and he's going in. Oh,
this is lovely for StarDuck. Obviously there is some units at home for RunaMok, but this is gonna pull his attention away, and RunaMok's actually attacking a gateway. He needs to get to the other side of the map. He's coming home.
Oh no!
They're playing it.
I mean, he'll be able to defend, which is great and all, but again, StarDuck, he just wants to slow this down.
Yeah, these reinforcements were enough, I think. He's delayed his push so much. 6 Templar being warped in right now. Looks to me as RunaMok might just siege upper base and not commit too hard and just kind of try to hold some position.
Yeah, I mean, he's working on a third base, right? Like, he's already working on that next step if this doesn't work. He's pushing out now, but we'll see what he's going to be able to accomplish here. Ideally, maybe do something at the third. Boy.
It's kind of looks similar to Game On, because, you know, he's had a push that he's planned. It hasn't gone to plan. And then he's just macroing out of it and following up to that. And hopefully it works. So I'd love to see this game go on, but he's not siege.
No, he's not siege whatsoever. He does borrow some of the mines, and he's trying to kite back against.
Good mine shots though. Great mine shots, and he saves the tank. This is awesome control by RunaMok, by the way. That pickup on the tanks was slick. That was so slick. He turned what looked like a really bad fight with some quick thinking into a good engagement, and he's just going to pull back and expand. So I love the decision making there from RunaMok.
Definitely. Just not overcommitting to anything, right? Especially because of how much StarDuck has to defend here. Already landing his third base. Solid. Yeah. We're getting into a longer game.
Yep. And StarDuck did have to cut probes quite a bit to hold that push. He knew it was coming and he cut probes. So, yeah, definitely viable play for RunaMok here. And some Zealots finding some new intel on the map. StarDuck has lost his Prism, by the way. I think the Viking might have picked that off, so... maybe there's turrets.
Yeah, the Widowmine has a kill. I don't know if that was the turret or... the War Prism or a Zealot from earlier. But yeah, StarDuck forced to back off, expanding, taking a fourth base, working on the next step, whether it's Colossus or Disruptor again. But I don't know, especially based off of last game's Disruptor control, or game number 1's Disruptor control, like, this is the worst case scenario for RunaMok.
Yep. You know what vibes I'm getting here, like?
What vibes?
I'm getting Pull the Boys vibes. We don't have an armory on the way, so no 2-2. He's getting very quick ghosts with the upgrade. I would not be surprised at all to see him just right now, like as these 3 ghosts pop, just pull the boys and go. As I said, that a sensor tower comes down, some more gases, so that might not be the case.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see it. Pull the boys.
I mean, I feel like it would work, especially because, you know, there's barely any real AoE for StarDuck, right? Like, to be fair, Colossus are on the way, and there is double Verber production. Ugh.
I think they'd just make it out in time, and it'd be a bad choice.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He's not going to go for it, which is probably a good thing. But Armory is late. The Armory is a little late, so... if we look at the upgrades, keep in mind that Chrono Boost is a thing. 2-2 is going to finish around when 2-2 starts. So that's a whole cycle ahead. So... things are looking pretty great for StarDuck, but in the army supply right now, RunaMok has a big army and he's got some ghosts or EMPs.
We'll see if they land. Again, there's not too much here. Can he get them on the Archons? Oh, and he does.
2 good ones. Lots of static D there for StarDuck though, which is going to be probably what saves him, I think, if we look at those armies. And this is an interesting play.
Yeah.
That Raven, I think I like this though, because that Raven's so hard to control in the army. I think RunaMok's just going, okay, it's very difficult to control that. I'm just gonna...
Oh god, yeah, it's definitely understandable. Unfortunately, he did just rally 2 tanks across the map. They went down for free. Oh my god.
Colossus is gonna go down for free though, and there's no static D here. Remember, when we look at those armies before, and the Colossus to the north, if he jumps on that, EMP is over everything, but the army is so bunched, and it's just getting incinerated by lasers.
Yeah, it is. It looks like he may just barely get the Nexus, but he didn't get any workers. He did get the Colossus, but now StarDuck can go for a counterattack.
Yeah, and I think that was a great fight for StarDuck, obviously. And RunaMok doesn't have his fourth set up, so if StarDuck just get across the map right now, before that planetary comes up, gonna be hard to control for RunaMok. And he is coming.
Oh boy, it was kind of a domino effect of just bad things for RunaMok, right? Like losing the tanks was pretty massive there. 2 tanks would have been great, but yeah, the army's here for StarDuck. RunaMok, he's pushing in though. He's gonna try and hold here.
Yeah, it's just not done in time, and I think he's gonna lose. Oh, that disruptor! Not like this.
I not like this. StarDuck, he just eats up the army. He's pushing on board. A planetary doesn't finish. It does go down.
A really nice play by StarDuck.
Now StarDuck's on match point. I just love the diversity that we've had so far in this series. Like it has been really back and forth, and also kind of crazy as well, like with how aggressive they've been. You know, sometimes a player goes for a proxy, doesn't necessarily work out, you know, they get scouted. Like it's been fun.
Yeah, it's great to see both players obviously have a few different styles that they can do, and maybe the map comes into play a little bit, which is good StarCraft. You know, if players look at the map and they say, look, I can do this here and this one here and this build on this map because of this. I think that's really interesting, and it gives us as viewers a lot to speculate about. So yeah, both players obviously playing some good StarCraft today, and StarDuck in that last game was very switched on. Obviously we can look at that early game and say, well, things haven't gone his way, but where a weaker player wouldn't be making probes behind it, wouldn't be taking up, missing their pylons, he's been crisp. So that's what has allowed him to macro out and get into that stable mid game. So very well played.
Yeah, definitely. Boy, I do think it's part of it is also because we've seen it twice now where RunaMok has gone for these early pushes, right? But they don't necessarily work out. And to be fair, like each time he is working on that next step, but it isn't like plan A, you know? So he hasn't been able to get into it as smoothly as he would like. Okay. But here we go. We are in a game number 4 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade ALE. We have the Australian Protoss. He's pink, representing the CranKy Ducklings. From Sydney, it is StarDuck.
And down here in the bottom right, needs a win to make this series go on. It is RunaMok. And just back to what you were saying before with StarDuck, I really would like to see him just stick to his guns here. I know that he maybe was cheesy in the past, but I'd love to see him macro. And from the side of RunaMok, I just want to see his plan A come to fruition. Like just don't get sidetracked. And you know, if we look back to game 1, the Raven getting picked off obviously was the big factor there, and that's on him. The previous game, that Warp Prism was perfectly timed by StarDuck. I'm not sure if that was a bit of luck on StarDuck's part. Oh Jesus, he's gonna proxy.
Oh god. I'm so surprised that RunaMok hasn't been the one doing it. But I guess he does feel a little bit more comfortable with those strong like 2-base pushes.
Yeah. And just because like he probably knows StarDuck loves to proxy. He maybe doesn't want to go proxy against proxy. He just wants to play a one-sided game, or like a one-side being aggressive game, if you know what I mean. So just happy to be the defender in this part. And he did only see 1 pylon there, so that should give it away. He knows there's a proxy based on 2 gas, and yeah, he's gonna find it.
Oh yeah, very early on as well. He will spot this Stargate. Great scouting there by RunaMok.
Yep. And this Reaper is going to pick off this probe, which it's a big thing, because that's going to be needed to build shield batteries. And does StarDuck have another probe on the map?
He does. He's sending one out now.
Okay, well, if that dies, what's going to build the shield batteries, like?
Nothing, mate. I mean,
I'm worried for StarDuck. RunaMok, I feel like this SCV should be looking for that probe. If he could intercept the probe, he's just not gonna kill that pylon. I'd love to see him go for this probe instead.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, these shield batteries are coming down now, and yeah.
Feels bad. Like, for RunaMok, if this Adept didn't show up, I do think that he would have been able to kill the pylon, but I guess he wasn't anticipating it. The Adept shows up, Void Ray finishes, and those shield batteries are going to finish as well.
Yeah, so let's take stock of what we've got right now. We've got a CC in the main for RunaMok. We've got a factory, and he's going to start getting some cyclones there, but no eBay, so he's got no turrets.
No turrets. I mean, I'm sure he would love to start working on a starport as well for a Viking. Oh boy, but this can be rough, right? Proxy Void Ray. Meanwhile, oh, the Reaper actually, yo, can he get the pylon? Oh no.
Oh wow, that was close.
I'm worried for RunaMok right now.
I think he's got the tools to defend it, but Void Rays are pretty good, man. Void Rays are pretty good.
You're telling me, mate, they're good in multiple matchups. Let's be real here.
Okay, so he's got a lock on, and he's going to force StarDuck back, and great micro from RunaMok there. He used up a lot of shield battery energy, and these shield batteries are in range, so it's not going to be a situation where StarDuck can really tech out and go into Tempest in the long run, because these shield batteries are exposed. So, I mean, he can build more backwards further, but yeah, RunaMok, if he gets out enough Cyclones with the lock-on upgrade, I think he's going to be in a good spot. Oh, that's not what he needed. He needed to keep that alive. And, oh, 2 going back.
No. No, solid question mark there, RunaMok, please. Ay. He was doing so well, but then loses two Cyclones immediately.
Yeah, and he has to keep this pylon alive, this depot alive, or otherwise that Adept is going to be able to shade in, and he's going to be able to warp in more Adepts. So it's really hard to see RunaMok coming back from here. He's even supply blocked right now, so he's going to have to drop that depot. On the positive, he does have the Cyclone upgrade finishing now, but he's just used that lock on the shield battery. And that picked it off. Oh, he barely lives.
Wow, the Void Ray on 3 HP, it just barely manages to survive. The bunker goes down. That lone Cyclone is doing whatever he can, right? The second Cyclone is on the way, but the problem is now the ground units are pushing up into the base.
Why did we need to buff these things? Why? RunaMok, he's fighting, man, but this is just a losing war. Absolutely. Yeah. StarDuck has so much stuff, and he's controlled these Void Rays really well. Like, if you look at them, I don't think he's lost any. In fact, in the units lost tab, it's only 7 units total.
Wow.
1 being a probe. And yeah, right now he kind of just knows, like, he's just got overwhelming numbers. He's just going to knock down the front door, and that is going to be qualification for StarDuck.
GG. Well played. StarDuck does advance forward in very StarDuck fashion with Proxy Void Ray and shield batteries. Feels bad, man. GG. And as you said, StarDuck, he will qualify and he will be in the first season of ANZ Champs.
Yeah, it's great to see him qualify today. He's an up-and-coming player, and obviously it'd be great to see RunaMok qualify as well, but seeing new blood like StarDuck come in makes me really happy. So congratulations to StarDuck, and well played.
Yeah. And of course, for the fans of RunaMok and Legacy, like, of course, he does have another chance. There is a lower bracket in the qualifiers, so he's not out of it yet.